Hey everyone, my name is Micah Blake, owner of Speaking Music, and today we're going to be talking about playing in a band. And the difference is what you should know about that before you start. Right up after this. Okay, so if you're interested in this type of stuff, whether you're a musician or a teacher or anything in between, subscribe to this channel and we're going to be posting great content for you every single week. Every musician goes at some point, if they want to be in a band, to playing by themselves and practicing, and somehow transitions to playing with other people. Now, one of the big problems people have with this lots of times when they first start playing with other instruments, especially if it's a rock band, and you have drums, electric guitar, you start playing and all of a sudden you can't hear yourself, or you can't hear other people. That can sometimes be the same problem. But I want to tell you a couple of tricks to help you out with that, because this could be a big difference between feeling like you're doing well and sounding good in it and just feeling frustrated and not being able to play at all. So, what are some of the issues with playing with a band? Okay, first off, you have to actually look around and what are the instruments. Now, this will differ based on why you're playing and what you're doing, but say, like a scenario one, we're in a normal rock band and we have a bass player, electric guitarist, acoustic guitarist, and drummer, singer, maybe keyboardist. Now, each of those instruments has their place in the band, and depending on what you are, let's say you are an acoustic guitarist. Your bass player is playing all the low stuff. Sometimes your keyboardist also is. So we'll say the low frequency is down here. Then overlapping some is the electric guitar and acoustic guitar, and then we have the vocals, which is also overlapping with all of those, not as much with the bass. Then you have the piano, which can do anything, and the drums, which doesn't typically drown out any frequencies. So, say you're an acoustic guitarist. You have to know what your frequency, the possibility of you playing music is here to here. Some of it, the vocalist is already playing. You have to know what that electric guitarist is doing. If he's playing riffs really high up in the frequencies, and you can just play your normal strumming and stuff. But if he's just doing power chords and strumming away, you're not going to hear yourself at all, and nobody else will. You have to get out of that range, so you're going to have to play higher up on the neck. Either single notes that are sounding good, or just strumming, maybe throw a capo on there and play up higher so that it sounds different, and you can hear yourself and other people can hear you too. This is extremely important with keyboardists, and I call out to all you keyboardists, don't play like you normally would, because a keyboardist can typically play all the different frequencies, but if you do that while you're playing with a band, you're just going to either drown out other people or you'll be drowned out. You really have to listen to what's going on and find your place in the music to work with everyone. Now that's going to have to do with your strength. What's your strength as a musician? Do you play really well rhythmically? Do you play really good leads? Finding out that will help you play with everyone in a much better way, instead of just saying, oh, here's the chords, let me strum along to them the whole time. I found this especially useful when you're like playing at a campfire. Okay, so a bunch of people come along, we have some singers singing their stuff, and then we have like 4 guitars, which is totally a normal thing to have sometimes. And 2 of them are more beginner guitars, one guy's kind of leading the thing, so he's strumming, and then you are there. Maybe you're not a beginner, maybe you're not the best. What do you actually do? Now, once again, you don't just want to strum the chords, because you pretty much have 3 other people doing that. You're just strumming along on the chords, you're going to get drowned out. All kinds of weird stuff is going to happen. So you can do different things. You could do finger picking instead of strumming, like hitting individual notes. Or, like I said, throw a capo on there and change the key and play the same thing but higher up. Or actually just start playing more melodic things. Now, if you don't know how to do that, then you're going to have to learn your scales and stuff. That's one of those things that gives you optionality to be able to sound good no matter what you're doing. So, those are kind of your options. You need to figure out what the instruments are around and what the frequency is. Where does your instrument fit in there? Then you have to see how you fit into that in your style. Because if you're not adding something and you're not learning anything, then there's really no reason for you to be there. That makes sense. Now, I give some different tricks and tips for if you don't know how to play all the songs. But for now, let's just work on like the concepts of how to do that. So those are your things. Look at the instruments around, figure out the frequency and how you fit in that band. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want more tips like this, subscribe below. We'll be posting more tricks for all of you musicians out there. All right, have a great week.